Hey, what's going on, everybody? I made a few videos yesterday, but I was having trouble, weirdly enough, getting them on once again, which sucks, but it is what it is. There's a few things I wanted to add to what I was saying about, the qliphoth, dark tree of death, however you want to look at it, and the tree of life, Kabbalah, about how Ralph Smart and T.O. Swan talking about how it's pretty bad and it's a chess game, and Ralph saying, he's thinking maybe we need to learn what these guys know. And I'm sure a lot of people, if they didn't hear that or chose not to hear it or ignored it or thought maybe he was just joking, if I was to bring that back up, the reason why I didn't send the comment is because I probably got a lot of hate, fucking whatever from it. A lot of fucking get out of here with your dark magic, blah blah blah, your problem, not the solution. But maybe they're right, not from my perspective, but maybe they're right. But what I wanted to say is, if there is, and I'm not saying there is, but if there is a dark elite group using the magic of the qliphoth or the Kabbalah or both, once again, both these things have their place, they have their purpose. It depends on what energy you have. Can you just do Kabbalah and the great work of self-transformation and get results? Absolutely. Can you just do the qliphoth and get results? Absolutely. They both can work. I mean, it really matters on what you resonate with. Some people don't resonate with light shit and all this. A lot of people can't understand that whenever they tell their friends and family about this kind of stuff, why don't they just jump on board? It's like, well, a bunch of reasons. One, it doesn't seem likely maybe to them, they're programming, and if it does seem like maybe they are the type of person that can believe something like that, well, maybe they're more of a dark person. Maybe they're more of a person that likes darker energies, that are called and like spirits that do bad things. Maybe they saw bad spirits, not good spirits, when they were a kid, so they know that's real and they don't think the other side is real. Maybe they only seen tragedy and moms that did drugs and got beat, and they got beat themselves, and no fathers, and in school no one cared about them, never had fucking good relationships, always in trouble, you know what I mean? They had a shitty life. There's no reason for those kind of people to believe in any good forces whatsoever. So, and you can say, well, not everybody's like that. No, absolutely not. But there are lots of people that are like that. So some people just resonate with darker stuff. And, once they go through that, they might go to the lighter stuff. Whereas me, I started with the lighter stuff because, like I said, it's fear of spirits. And then I had to fucking start my work and all this shit and figure out what was going on. And that took me a lot, because just working with the regular tree of life and Kabbalah and spirits and meditation and knowing about all these forces and demonics, this and all that other crap, I was taking a chance and I was scared, but I got over it because of whatever. And then when I started doing the qliphoth, man, it was fucked. I got this aversion to blood, and whether it can be real or fake, it doesn't always trigger me. It's whenever I get an emotional response and start freaking out and almost start throwing up and want to get the fuck out of there as soon as I start getting something and the pictures start flowing in my head. Like listening to the fucking introduction of the one book, it's talking about a whole bunch of different blood and other fucking matter that comes from, it's too much for me to handle. But anyways, but I did it because I wanted to be a well-rounded, well-versed, and kind of like what Ralph was saying, to understand something, you have to dip in it. I don't think the world is like Star Wars, so to speak. And I don't think it's like, there's dark and light forces and you can use both. But the only way, let's say if there is an elite group out there using the dark forces only, well then you could beat them with the light forces, or at least bring neutrality, okay? But when the darker forces, let's just say, are using both light and dark, and you only know light, and maybe not even that much of it, you only know a very small version of law of attraction, love and light, then I think Teal Swan, when she says, in 15 we chose this, and it takes 5 years for everybody to get on board and manifest and whatever like that, then I think that's definitely a possibility. This is all hypothetical, but just go with it. I think that's totally a possibility. if that's the way it works, because you're only using 1/4 of the whole white potential. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not joking or lying about the fact that I can create a thought form to do something for me, that I can manifest stuff in 3 fucking days or the same day. I'm not joking about that. I'm doing that. And I know lots of people that have done that, and I know lots of people that can prove that. You can do things within the same year, all the time. Now, something on a global mass scale with a lot of other minds, yeah. But knowing the whole entire light side would bring you closer to that goal. But still, nonetheless, if these people are using both the light and the dark forces to bring about whatever they want to bring about, how do you expect to be able to contend with them if you only know part of the light forces, the law of attraction, and New Age and all this? Once again, I'm not advocating for people to start taking up qliphoth, and Kabbalah and magic and witchcraft and all that. Just focus on your own life, and your own life will be what you need to worry about. You'll be able to find a way out of this. You'll be able to find a loophole when it's time to do the vaccination and get away with it. Maybe you'll know the person taking the thing down, and they'll just mark you had it. Who knows? You don't have to worry. If you worry about it, you stress about it, well, again, you're going to bring that in. Because she can say we chose this way down the line all she wants, but you are actively thinking about things today that you're accepting. If you're not reject, banishing shit, and if you don't accept and then reject, banish, deny the things in like every day that come to you, because everything is, there's big fucking things that you make choices now that are going to affect you down the road in a few years. But there's also things you choose today that are going to affect you at the end of the year. There's things you choose today that are going to affect you at the end of the day, and all bunch of variations of that. And that's why it's important to reject, banish, deny the bad thoughts and accept the good thoughts. This is how you take control of your life. So putting out broad statements like that, saying that, well, you can't really do anything about it. No, that's stupid. You can. You totally can. And if you think of Star Wars, how was one guy who eventually gets another guy on his team be able to take down all the fucking Jedi Knights? Now, I know it's Star Wars and it's not real life and all that, but it serves for my example. The fucking counselor knew both the light and the dark forces. And just so you know, in the qliphoth book, there is a part on the Tree of Life. It's called Coruscant, by the way, where the Dark Sidious was from, which is the fucking counselor. So just so you know. But nonetheless, he was able to do that and keep them from seeing what was going on. It's very much like this, because if she says 5 years ago she knew this was going to happen, then it's like, well, then why did you make the choices to go? How are you stuck in another country right now when you knew this was going to happen? And in all honesty, I'm not trying to be that kind of guy, because I don't believe in that. And once again, I'm not doubting her abilities. What I'm saying is, if the dark forces know also the light forces, then they're able to pull things over anybody who's only got a small knowledge of light forces underneath their eyes. Now, I don't want to promote any kind of paradigm where light and dark is a spiritual battle, because I don't believe in that paradigm. I don't believe that's what's happening. I believe we're all one, we're all connected, and we're all going to the same fucking place and area and time, and all this is part of our agreements, our collective of what we need to be doing, what needs to be done. But at the same sense, I want people to understand that you can't just think, if you are the type that thinks there's a dark collective out there fighting for mankind and you're part of this light collective, well, then that's great. And if you had a lot of numbers, you could probably do some damage. If you could gather somewhere and do something and you're on the same page, you could probably do something. But since you can't gather with each other to try to fight against this force, and they probably are, if there is one, together, knowing both light and dark forces, knowing how to make egregores and thought forms that can totally change things around. And if you tell me that shit isn't real, well, then you don't know fucking magic. But you need to understand that they're using both sides from a depolarized state where they don't have any stake in the outcome. So what happens doesn't matter to them. And we can say, they're making the right chess move or the wrong chess move and all that, but it doesn't matter. Whatever they do, whatever humanity chooses, they're just going to run with that and figure out a way to flip it around. There's always going to be dark and light. It's never just going to be all light, because you need the dark too. we need to stop thinking like that. Once you stop thinking like that, then there's no reason to be worried about the dark, because the dark is the light and the light is the dark. But the people that suppress the darkness within them, then this is what fucking happens. Things fucking spin out of control, and there's fucking power grabs and all this shit. And then you allow that into your mind. You can say, oh, that's bullshit. This thing's happening regardless. It's reality. Yeah, it is. But I'm not worried about it. I got 4 fucking kids. I'm not even worried about them. They're having a great time. They're doing their homework. Everything is going well. More money than ever around and all that. And, you know, I'm still working, but most people don't have to work. Mom's getting her way. And you can say, okay, well, that's only happening right now. What happens in a little bit? Well, in a little bit hasn't happened yet. And she said it herself. And once again, I'm not attacking Teal Swan, okay? I think she's great. I think she's in a little bit of fight or flight. So her perspective is just a little, you know, fear is the path of the dark side kind of shit. Like, she's a little clouded by fear. That's all. And everything that comes out is going to be all the knowledge that she has, which she has outstanding knowledge, but it's all going to be coming from a place of fear. Like I said, if you go to work, what are you going to think about? Well, work things. Jobs, shitty jobs, fucking not making your bills, whatever. When you go home, what are you going to think about? You're going to think about your chores, what show you're going to watch later, whatever. When you're out driving, what are you going to think about? The music to put on, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever you're doing, you know, makes you up for your thoughts. But at the same time, whatever mood you're in also makes up your fucking thoughts. Okay? If you are in a place where, you know, you're scared to say certain things, or you're in a foreign country and you haven't seen home in a while, and you're a little fearful of that if you're ever going to get released, and then your money situation and not having an income, and you're worried that you're going to have to start charging people online and whatever the case is, then yeah, everything else you say is also going to be tainted by that. Like attracts like. You know, opposites also attract. But so in the spiritual realm, like attracts like, and that's how we bring thoughts down here. I've already talked about this. But then in our realm, opposites attract. So if you're a love and light being, but you're in fear right now, well, that's going to be a hard fucking combo to kick. That's why people get stuck in truth movements and conspiracy movements, because it's so goddamn attracting. Because you're trying to find the truth and fix and help people, and yet all you can see is the fear and the darkness. Those are opposing forces. You got positive intentions with negative outcomes, with negative information. So it's a hard fucking combo to mix. And we resort to a negative state more often than we resort to a positive state. We have that ability. Once again, these demons and these things that are in these books, I don't know what came first. I don't know if the books came first with the demons' names and thus they were created, or if these things were already a specific thing and then we wrote about them. But either way, because there's enough belief in them, they do exist and they're within everybody. And if you suppress them, I'm not saying you need to go read this book. There are many ways to do dark side work and get a hold of these and figure out what's going on. You know, she made a great point, like I said already, that, you know, she needs to see herself as Bill Gates. How and her and Bill Gates the same. This is absolutely bang on when it comes to doing shadow work, how you're supposed to do it. Like I used the Jordan Peterson version of pretend you're a Nazi prison guard and realize that you have that capability within you, and figure out how you can make sure that never fucking happens. And one good way is to be depolarized, to not have an emotional response. Because you're not, and I know this is going to sound fucked up, but if a German concentration camp worker came to take my girls away from me, I could lose my shit and freak out and run at it, and they're going to pull out their side piece and blow my fucking head off. And I'm not going to be any goddamn good to my daughters, am I? But if I keep my cool and I formulate a plan, I figure something out, and then I go and trade with them, barter with them, figure out how to give them something more that they want than my girls, then maybe I can save my girls. And I'm not tainted fight or flight or in fear. Understand that. People are in that state where they're going to get their head fucking blown off. You need to stop running at a fucking pistol thinking it doesn't matter, I gotta save everybody, and fucking really sit down and think about how you can actually be of fucking use and not fucking useless. Anyways, that's all. Have a good one.